Kabasho.
Please give it up to him again. And I know a lot of you came here because you want to see Mr. Anas. He is here. We are not going to put him on the calendar if on our poster if he wasn't coming. Okay? So he is going to be here. But most of you here will agree with me that due to his unique talents and personality, he has certain security issues that have to be addressed to. The moment it is his time to speak, he will take the podium. Then we will give you time to ask questions. And please, be his resident. So we are only left with Mr. Anas and when it is time, he doesn't need any introduction. You guys already know who he is and what he does. So I'll give the mic.
Players of Sector Africa, the ex-housing, distinguished participants from various schools and institutions, special persons present, amazing media partners, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the founder and executive director, Africa International Organization and Sector Leadership International, it is indeed an honor for me to welcome you today at the INPACT Africa Youth Summit 2018. The focus of our conference and program is breaking the myth of leadership. We had a similar conference in Commonwealth Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, on 27 October 2018, and it was super. It was very interactive and it was amazing. We're supposed to have one at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, ANUSC, but for the impasse, we couldn't pull through. There is hunger and thirst for new vision and leadership rebirth. And this hunger and thirst can be found in the mind and hearts of any child, especially with the youth gathered here today at Kokoribia Technical University, Ghana and Africa at large. I hope that each and every one present here will seriously reflect on the content that will be presented to you by our 4 dedicated speakers. And let us all take a leading role in advance towards Ghana and Africa continent. Let us work together over the days ahead in building a new Ghana and Africa for a lasting servant leadership. Let us seek to develop our own character, good principles as future leaders of our time. On this note, I humbly welcome you all to Settle Africa Summit 2018. Thank you.
Yes, the youth, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure and privilege to be here to discuss my thoughts with the youth that I treasure very much. Looking back into the years, I wish I was in your age bracket, but this is not possible because of the several challenges that you face. But I dare say to you, the youth, you can't overcome them all. There may be several challenges facing you as a youth of this country, but you shall overcome. That's why we are here to guide you through the difficult part of unblemished leadership. I've chosen to speak on time, but I've departed from the usual time management segment that you've attended. You will see from my topic, natural laws of successful time and life management. Ladies and gentlemen, there's physical time of 24 hours a day. No matter where you are, whether in China, whether in Azerbaijan, whether in Afghanistan, whether in village, we all have 24 hours a day. Why do you think the Lord God Almighty made it so? It's an asset which is given to each one of us equal. I will touch on that. The Lord God Almighty also divided these hours, this time into hours, days, weeks, months, and seasons. We have the dry season, we have the rainy season, we have winter, autumn, fall, and summer. This means that no matter where you are, you have the seasons, 24 hours a day. And in Africa, it amazes me that we call something African time. African time. This is a misnomer. There is no African time. There is time wherever you are, 24 hours in a day. And it depends on what you do with your time that makes you the person that you are. So that brings me to the natural laws of successful time that I would like to discuss with you. Yes, laws of personal productivity and improvement. You see, you control your life by controlling your time. This is something that you should know. If you want to control your life, you have to control time. How do you do it? Ben Franklin says that thou lovest time, then do not squander time. For that's the stuff life is made of. It's a lifelong game. If this is true, then controlling life means controlling your time, and controlling your time means controlling it in your life. Is it true? Yes. If you want to be successful, then you have to manage time more successfully. You need to plan. You need to make sure that you are planning for success. There is a productivity equation. The events, you can start from anywhere. If you're able to control events, then your productivity will increase. If you want to waste time, your productivity will be low. And then you have low esteem. But if you control your events, 10 events, I'll show you what to do, then your productivity will be high and you have a self-esteem. This is the true issue that you need to. The next is, there are two time policies which I need to discuss with you young people. We think that we are going to have more time at some unspecified future date. And we normally say, who hasn't said this before? I'll do it next week. Yeah? I'll do it next month. Your assignment. Oh no, I'm tired, I'm worn out. I'll do it tomorrow. Haven't you said that before? You have. And when I return, when my children are grown, I'll do this. We give excuses. But my brothers and sisters, this is the policy. You can never have time. The time is now. Because in a day, you have 24 hours. Can you stop the clock? No, you can't. And therefore, when are you going to have the time? When I have time, I'll do it. When, no, I can't, I'm tired, I'm sleepy. Therefore, I cannot do the assignment. No, you can't. The time is now. You're not holding the clock back. Have you seen someone holding the clock back? I haven't seen one. If you have, tell me. Lift up your hand and tell me. If you have seen someone who can hold the clock back, I haven't seen one. Then another fallacy about time is that we think we can somehow save time. Are you sure? You're going to save time? How do you save time? The fact is, you have all the time there is. You'll be given a check every day. Every day, each one of us is given a check. And the check has got what? 24 hours on it. What do you do? What do you do with that 24-hour check? Someone will misuse it. Someone will kill it. Someone will invest the time. And then he will be what? When you go back to the equation, he will be productive. And therefore, you have what? Self-esteem. That means that when you say to someone, I don't have time, you are not telling the truth. You are lying. You are not telling the truth. Tell me, I don't have the time to do it. You are not telling the truth. Right now, you have as much time as anyone of us here. Is it true or false? You have the same time. So that if you come out and say, oh, I didn't have time to do it. No, you are not being truthful. You are sorry. Let's move on. So how do you say this? There are time robbers, but a group of them is imposed on us. We have no control over them. But there are others that are self-inflicted. We inflict it on us so that our time is misused, misapplied, etc. And I want to go quickly with you. One is interruption. And when you are in the office, someone will come in without any notice, without call. I would like to know, they interrupt. What do you do? Because of a relationship with them, you may not be able to sack them. You may not be able to say, what I do in the office is that. You will come in, interrupt. Procrastination is a thief of time. And it's a fact, it's a truism. You cannot run away from that. If you do that, it means that your self-esteem will be low. You cannot achieve what you need to achieve in a day. You cannot achieve what you need to achieve. The first class that you need to, you won't get the third class because your assignments are late. You do not present them on good time. Therefore, you get the class that you do not deserve. Then, poor planning. This is self-inflicted. Because of poor planning. July is such that if you don't plan, what is the truth? Everybody needs to plan. But if you don't plan, what happens? Oh, I'm waiting. I will do it later. But no, it's self-inflicted. Do it. Take the initiative. Be innovative. And then, if you innovate and then you get it wrong. Yes, you tried. You did it. But you failed. But others will sit back for answers before they move. No, that is not. The youth of Ghana. Plan. Do it. And then if you fail, I remember when I was over there. We had a white lady. And then myself. There were 2 tests of the band. And whenever I do something and I make mistakes, oh, you have made a mistake. And when the white lady does it, oh, he was trying to innovate. He was trying to make it. Use what they do. If a white man does it, yes, then he tried. He was trying to innovate and he made it wrong. But if a black man does it, our priorities. Rank our double balance in order of priority. Otherwise, we won't achieve which our goals and daily activities are most important. If we don't prioritize those values, we inevitably wind up completing goals of daily activities and constantly to make progress. Do you prioritize? Let me come back to you. You prioritize in a day. What are the important things? When you prioritize, there are certain things which are urgent. There are certain things which are important. There are certain things that can go on that you can do it the next day. You do that. If you want to manage your time very well, you need to what? Prioritize. There are things which are important, there are things which are priority, and there are things which can go on. They are not so much important. Good. The next slide. There are other laws as follows. To reach any significant goal, you must leave your comfort zone. Most of you are in your comfort zone, and you don't want to. You are afraid of the unknown, and therefore you want to be where you are. And if you keep on doing the same thing over and over again, what do you get? You get the same result. And therefore, you need to at least move out of your comfort zone. It might not be easy. It might not be easy. Because moving from your comfort zone to the other zone is what? Very dark. You don't know. You are going to step into the unknown, and you find it a bit perplexing. But in order to manage your time so that you have the inner self-esteem to achieve in life, you need to move out of what? Your comfort zone. Is that clear? Good. Let's move on. Daily planning, leverage time through engaged focus. I've said it oftentimes that when you plan, you leverage time through engaged focus. If you don't plan, then you plan to fail. Then your behavior is a reflection of what you truly believe. Your behavior. You see, there are some people who are normally lethargic. They do not, you see that they seem not to have life in them. And if you associate yourself with those who want to be, they are not at the top, and they are not down, they are lukewarm. They are over there. They are, and I hate to hear that. When you go, then I'm from, or what do you want? Anything. No! You need to know what you are. Otherwise, you know the person. How do I want to give you coffee or cocoa or tea, and then, the other way we are. Sorry for the language. It will come on. But I know you understand. That's not it. You know what you want. I go to the shop and then they say, this is cheap. So I said, no, I came here, I know what I want. And this is where I'm going for. Then you are certain, you are focused in life, and you achieve a lot if you develop that. And this can be developed. You can. It is no magic one. You can develop it and do that. Then the next is when you certify these, when your beliefs are in line with reality. Yes, there are some people who do not. What do you do? I want to be a pilot. And you see that the maths, the science, it's not good. It's not in reality. Even the SHS math, you got 9 or 7. Let's give you 7. Yes. And yet you want to be a pilot. It's not real. See, you have to know yourself. There's inner. So you always sit back and then examine yourself. A life which does not examine yourself is not well living. Examine yourself. Know that yes, I have affinity for this, I'm good at this, and then go for it. And if you go for it, what happens? You will be successful as a person for your society, your family, and the world at large. Then, negative behaviors will come by changing ignorant beliefs. Yes, there are some who are negative. You have some friends who are negative. Whatever is called, you will not even finish talking. Wait, didn't work. Why are you trying? They are negative people, do not go with them. Try to have a positive mental attitude. Get out with those people who have the positive mental attitude. Go out with them and they will encourage you. They can even say, I can't. It's difficult, but I know you can. Try it. Try it. And then that is the people that you need to do. And finally, your self-esteem must ultimately come from within. Yes, this is very important to me. I'm rounding up. Your self-esteem is within you. Nobody can give you that. You need to believe in yourself, have a self-esteem, achieve. See, once you achieve in life, you become proud. You have the self-esteem, and you can do others. You see, when you look at people, maybe fear, we are for secondary school, we fear, we are for university, we fear, we are for that, our. In other words, they haven't married yet. No, nobody has gone past the university level. No, don't do that. And then finally, give more and you have more. I love this. Don't always ask and say thank you. Then you ask. You want to ask. Give out too. And you see that life will also give you more. Give out and life will give you more. Don't receive all the time and you will see. And finally, I want to tell you this. As you embark on your own personal quest, at each day or beginning of the following day, take time to measure results. As I told you earlier on. Either you do it at the end of the day or beginning of the following day. Was my behavior in line with my doctrine values? Did I do what really mattered to me today? Start the cycle over every day. And then finally take control of your life by implementing the natural laws and concepts that we have discussed. If you don't get anything of all that I've said, the last sentence, take control of your life by implementing the natural laws that we have. Time is what? Let us read this then after. Time rather than investing our time, we rather what? Waste it, kill it, and spend it rather than investing it. Please invest your time and be successful and you take over Ghana. Thank you very much for having me.
Put your hands together for Mr. Anas, Aromio Anas.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, why I can't hear the spirit in this room. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Great. Now I'm feeling very good. I can see that there's some spirit here. It's an honor to be here, and I've had a very busy schedule. But when I realized it was Cove Town, I said, if I don't do it, my friends that I can see will be very, very angry with me. And I'm very happy that all of you have come in your numbers. A round of applause for yourself. So Impact Africa Youth, we are here to talk about leadership. How do we, in our little ways, strive to make that positive impact on our African society? And I think that it's usually very interesting when I get my colleagues like you and engage with you. Because my whole analysis of how things should be handled has been on the lines of us, the new Africans, to be more innovative to the problems that we have in our society. Now let me take you through a little bit, just a very short history. So how did I start? I started just like any other Ghanaian, grew up in parts of 37 Barracks, parts of Nima, Mamobi, and decided that, well, I wanted to be a journalist, but how do I do journalism in another way so that it can be more beneficial and impactful to society? I was aware that the Ivy League schools, talk of Cambridge, Harvard, and all that, had defined journalism. But I had to stop and ask myself that fundamental question, whether that definition of what journalism is work for my society or my community. I am from Bimbila in the northern region. I know what deprivation is. I know what poverty is. I know what it is to be down there with the people. You know, so I needed that kind of journalism that would sync with my people. So I did three main things: naming, shaming, and jailing. Now, the reason why I chose to do this type of unconventional journalism was very simple. That I was tired of living with the same criminals that we fight against. So, whilst doing undercover journalism, I said that I was going to look for hardcore evidence. Hardcore evidence that is able to knock out any potential person who wanted to stand and to roll the progress of society backwards. So, when I say I have gone undercover, I will show you the evidence of when you plotted to commit the crime, who you decided to plot the crime with, how you plotted the crime, and after the crime, what you went home to say. That I called conclusive evidence. That is my kind of journalism. But I didn't stop there. I said, how do I get you off the street? Because I do not possess powers of arrest, I will liaise with the law enforcement agencies who will share information and data so that you can be prosecuted. So it's very normal to see me going to the court of law and standing to testify so that many people will get jailed. Now, over the years, the story that I did, Chinese sex mafia, where the people traffic girls all over, they are in jail for 45 years. Nana Kwesi Ajiman, a man who raped girls as young as 3, is in jail for 15 years. Talk about the cocoa smuggling story during President Mills's time. They are in jail all put together 16 years. Talk of MV Benjamin cocaine Ricardo case. He was jailed 8 years. That is when I started feeling that I am doing something different. Of course, my colleagues did not understand. Well, what are you talking about? Journalism, you write for us, we sit in our bedrooms, we read, that's it. Why are you getting to work with the police and working with the judges? So they've been challenging the status quo. They've been asking, why do you want to do it different? I have also said I am a product of my society. No journalist from America or the UK will come and tell me how to do my journalism. Because I'm a product of my people. I can understand them much, much better than anybody else. To travel the length and breadth of the African continent, it's up to us to be able to rationalize and to do a thinking of what we ought to do that will inure to the benefit of our society. Now, let me tell you these few things. Why do I do what I do? I do it because in Africa, as you all know, our institutions are not very developed. So I see no reason why I would take one step to meet that police officer. Take one step to meet that law enforcement officer or agent to make sure that, after all, don't we all live in the same communities and societies? If a man robber can rob you today, it means he can rob me tomorrow. So the police and all those people are not mutually exclusive. All of us ought to contribute our quota to making society a better place. So then the words will start coming. Oh, this is unprofessional. You have also committed a wrong. Why did you go and film him? You have invaded the person's privacy. If we are not careful, and us, he will one day come into our bedrooms. They should hang him. They should kill him. It's normal. I've heard it and heard it and heard it. But interestingly, it is not you who is saying no. It's the politicians. Why? Why should it be the politicians complaining? If we want a just society, if we all believe that society should be fair and that we shouldn't have to stand in Adenta and make noise before they do our bridges, then why should it be a problem? In any case, yes, your bedroom is a private place. But if you stayed in your bedroom to plot a coup against our sitting president, I have every right to make sure that you people hear it. So, I just want to take my friends through that scenario. Let's do a little bit of the situations that I find myself in that makes me do what I do. Can we start with some videos, please? So I remember when I went to that place, Accra Psychiatric Hospital. It was terrible. It was more easier to get cannabis, cocaine, and heroin. And I was undercover as a patient. Now, I am sorry I have to tell you as it is and show you these pictures that you don't want to see. But that is the truth of our reality, the reality of our society. This person was suffering from epilepsy. He was unwell. Instead of helping her, they beat her up. All of you will drive good cars very soon. But this is the reality that we have in our society. And until we all make strenuous efforts at helping institutions like this country will remain down there. So we didn't have money. One day I got a call from one of our presidents. And his story was simple. We had enemies. We had enemies of our nation. So President Mills wasn't happy at all. He wanted me to go and see what will happen there. When I went there, they were taking money left, right, and center, exporting our cocoa. I went to the harbor. It was all the same. Taking money left, right, and center. When I film this and I come and show you, then they say I'm the evil one. What is evil about that? So, at the end of the day, the state made 200 million. Within a twinkle of an eye, when the signal came, they moved. And I can tell you some action. So the murderers were arrested. As we speak, the court processes are ongoing. In Tanzania, spell of the albinism, people whose limbs are chopped and all that. So I went there to do that work. There were many deaths there. Sorry for the footage, but you have to see the reality. At the end of the day, what we sought to do again was to make sure that we arrested the real culprit who chopped these limbs. And the soothsayers played a fundamental role in this. So I got a sack, we prepared our cameras, and that soothsayer who was demanding for the human flesh and human bones eventually got arrested. And as we speak, the first time in the history of Tanzania where these bad guys got arrested. So you see, until you decide to be innovative, pause. Until you decide to do something different, nobody will recognize you. And being different in the society doesn't come easy. It is not a tea party to make a change in society. You see, there are people of substance, they know the law. So when they are fighting you, you stand well. But when empty barrels make noise, those ones, they don't move us. Because we know that the person is speaking, he's forgotten what he's supposed to even say. Why should we be bothered? That's why I'm saying that a measure of some particular courage is needed by us as a people if we want to stand and fight the current regime of corruption. We need to be very, very strong and understand that that victory will not come easy. It will be hard, but once we know what we are doing, we are going to win. So I remember all the troubles and the whatever, and the Chief Justice and the President, and it's not normal, it's normal. So we got ourselves ready, and then I remember this was the bar conference. I also trained as a lawyer for a very simple reason, that I need to know the facts and I can understand. Arm myself properly so I can fight the bad guys in society. So Now you've had your judges. I'm sure very soon you are going to be requesting for your football to have betrayed the game. Head on beat it. It is a game of football. I don't like football. I never go. I don't know why someone should go and waste 90 minutes at the stadium watching what? I'm not a football person. So when we mooted the idea of let's look at football, I thought I was joking. But we went into it. But this is the reason why I did it. Whilst in the barracks one day, there was a problem. At 37 military more. 127 Ghanaians had died. The reason was simple: poor officiating. So I was called upon that day to look for someone, so I passed through the dead bodies. So there was a stampede, the referee whistled something. Some Hassel folk and Kotoko people say no, the Kotoko people are throwing it. That was why they died. I said, these people, first of all, I didn't think you should go to the stadium in the first place. But okay, I've accepted. If you say that's your passion, I don't have a problem. But why did you die? Why? Couldn't you have run away? Couldn't you have just left? And they said, no. If they are going to score against you and the referee does something wrong, it really hurts when you go home, you can't eat. I said, so when they beat your team and you go home, you don't want to eat. What is your problem? So you see, I came from a very naive understanding of football. But I realized that it's people's passion. People save their money just to be able to pay and go in. And again, it is the national conscience. I didn't know all this. So I got into it. And I realized that perhaps it is better to deal with those who subject this particular game. So I went into the investigation. And I didn't look at Ghana, I looked at Africa as a continent. We had over 16 countries, different coaches. For example, it affected the world. Take me as your brother. Take me as your brother. So, referee Maha of Kenya was brought back whilst officiating at the World Cup. Top African referees, even the Nigerian coach was also brought down. So for me, Ghana, it was just one of the stories. You understand? It was a continental problem because the death that happened was not only in Ghana, many other countries. I am happy today we are here. I am happy that over 64 of the Ghanaian referees are home now. I'm happy that CAF has sacked over 30 of the referees in Africa. I'm happy that FIFA has taken decisions that we hope at the end of the day will inure to the benefit of not only African football, not only Ghanaian football, but African football and world football as a whole. Now, I'll leave you with this set of words. Oh, I didn't want to talk about Malawi. Drop it, let me end. I beg you. No, it's okay. It's okay, you've had enough. Oh, I wanted everything. Okay. Alright. So let me tell you about Malawi. Last trip. So, a few months ago, there were some human sacrifices in Malawi. Me and 4 of my colleagues were called to find an antidote to it. This was a BBC Africa Eye production. It was a terrible story. We had a lot of evidence. We met killers. But with one of the 2 killers, with the 2 killers we got, there were sets of killers. So when I say one of, I meant one of the sets. You know, we went into a particular village. And whilst in that village, we were dealing with these 2. We had some noise. The villagers were unhappy because they knew where we were standing was a killing ground. Over the years, many people had been killed and buried there. They had called government to help. Nobody decided to help. So they had decided that if they found you on that ground, No matter who you are, they will also kill you there and bury you. Now this is where we found ourselves. 4 of us from the BBC. It was a difficult investigation. The people came, we showed them our car, showed them everything. They won't let us go. They started beating us, of course, throwing spoons, knives, and then somebody suggested that they should take us through a journey. They have a valley, and they believe supernaturally that if anybody is able to pass that valley, then it means that person should be alive. So they took us through that journey. We walked for over 2 hours at night. And in the valley, the idea was to kill us there and then leave us in the valley. It was terrible. We held hands. We moved together in the valley. They stoned us. They did everything. My friend had fractures and all that. But eventually, we managed to get to the chief's house after the battle. Then a police contingent was brought in to come and save us. We should have died. But you see, the biggest lesson, the next morning we went back to the village, was that you see, when we all sit down as a people, and we say, because it is happening to the people of Adenta, we don't care. One day you never know when you drive there, and the people will get insane. And that's when you see what the people's power means. So that was a valuable lesson to all of us. And I believe that all of you should take a cue from it. That you may think that you have educated yourself and you want to stay in Accra and leave your villages unattended to. If the water in your village is poisoned, if your child does not die, if you don't die, your grandmother will die. So the onus lies on us as citizens to take the bull by the horn and to say to ourselves that we will strive to make the needed input that will bring positive development in our various societies. Journalism is a very hot profession. It's a hot kitchen. I have said, if you can't deal with the heat, you get out. You see, what we fight for in society is a disease. And I call it an extreme disease. And if you have an extreme disease, you need a
Wherever they are as people.
Thank you. Beautiful question. You see, when I usually get this, and you get to hear, why are you dealing with the bottom and then the top? When I go and deal with the top, why are you dealing with the top and not the bottom? See, I think that corruption must be dealt with through a more holistic and pragmatic manner. Now, what do we mean by the top and what do we mean by the bottom? Now, if you watch number 4, you realize that apart from the top referees in Africa, we also came to normal referees. 64 of your normal referees who whistle for your professional league and other things, they were all involved. Now, when you come back to the judges, apart from having the 34 judges, we also had over 100 and something judicial staff, which represent a fair mix of both top and low. I think that if you are coming to fight corruption, I welcome you, whether you want to fight the top, the side, the neck, or the leg. Just make sure that you also fight corruption. And you don't, it's not every day that you have to be deeply engaged in anything and push the frontiers. Thank you.
Hello. Somebody's arm was up. I'm going to give one more person on the left, 2 on the right, making 4, and we will give them.
In your line of work, what has been your motivation of not giving up? As you once said, you always have more than 20 lawsuits in all your investigations.
You see, I always say one monster dies, another one comes alive. The fight is forward ever. That's what it is. But you see, when you have those pains and they say they will hang and kill you and do all these things, there's one thing that will put a smile on your face. When you turn around and you see that but for that story you did, all these 200 little children would have been raped. It makes you smile. When you get up in the morning and you listen to the news and you hear that that story you did has managed to save those children from else they would have been trafficked. Now they've been rescued and they are given proper shelter. It puts a smile on your face. When you get up in the morning and you look at the national coffers and you realize that but for your stopping of this man, so million cedis would have gone into his account. It gives you energy. So the motivation is our people. When you have the smiles coming from the faces, then you know that you are in proper business. So yes, it will be difficult, but if we persevere, we will get there. Thank you.
Helping society positively. And I want to ask a question. The question is, how do you cope with family and society, with friends, with all these dangerous work you are doing? Is it a betrayal to this work you are doing? Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good question. And we've held visions together. We understand each other. Those friends have held my back for a very, very long time. Also, I want to say a big thank you to all of you, my secret guys who are in this particular place, especially my Cove guys and girls who have worked with me over the period. The people of Pando, people of O, people of Kumasi, Tamale that I work with. I'm surprised that in spite of all the tremendous work we do, we still keep our ranks very tight. So it is a difficult one. You never know when somebody will turn things around. But we've also managed to create a very secured safety net that has really helped us over the years. We are also opened. We learn every day. Nobody is a god. We all have our weaknesses, and we open our doors, take criticisms on board, amend what we have to amend, because you see, our job is about life and death. Your inability to calculate well, any miscalculation will lead to fatal consequences. So we keep our ears open, and any of you that have suggestions, anytime, just give it to us on Facebook, give it to us on our website, and we'll willingly take it. Thank you very much.
I have two more.
Someone up that, in case you are not there, go or will take up your pay. And then the second question is, how do you get paid with all this?
Alright, thank you in Ghana, but across the African sub-region. We have what we call Nigeria Investigate. I'm just coming from there. We have been liaising with our brothers in Malawi. We and our brothers in South Africa talk. So it's not an island. We always, because look, if you, no matter what you know, you saw what happened in Tanzania. When I went, I liaised with a Tanzanian person. When I go to South Africa, I have to liaise with a South African. When I go to Kenya, so you can have all the good skills in the world. You still have to depend on a brother. So if you don't give what you have out, if you don't freely teach, then you have a problem, because at the end of the day it will come back to haunt you. What was the last one around it?
How do you get paid?
Oh yes. So people say, how do you get paid? Meanwhile, they watch the thing and they see a BBC sign on it. They watch it and they see an Al Jazeera sign on it. So if the story gets commissioned by any of these big organizations, they get to pay us for what we do. Also, I am a publisher of, if anybody knows, I work with my mentor and journalism father, Abdel Malik Kwekubako. So we've worked over a period. We also have a foundation that is called the Tiger Eye Foundation that is able to get grants which help us to go into investigation. So it's not easy getting the money, but we try, we do our best. On that note, thank you very, very much. It's an honor being here.
You have been showing us videos of what is going on that is against the law, that goes contrary to the law, especially in the parliamentary aspect where you expose some of the judges, and so you are bringing us some videos. But it seems the government is not taking any serious action on it. And since this is a youth impact summit, how can we, as the next generation, reduce corruption in Africa? That's my question, sir.
Thank you very much. So, but you see, it is not always about governments. it is also about institution. That's why it's good to build solid work, so that work that can be used in the court of law. So when the person is jailed, I don't need government to help me jail anybody. You understand? Also, if the person is in an institution and government is supposed to sack that person and they don't sack, next 4 years they will come back for you to vote for them. You look at the video and you look at the government, and then you decide. So whether government likes it or not, they will listen, because we have discerning people. They will watch. If you don't take action, everybody will keep quiet. On the day of voting, when they stand at the ballot box, they will ask themselves all those questions. Oh, this thing came, they didn't do anything. This thing came, and then they will say, oh, it means that all of you were chopping. Then they will vote against you. But to be fair, I don't think that governments have always sat on the bench, because sometimes it's so negative for them that they have to act. Why was FIFA dissolved? I didn't say anybody should go and dissolve FIFA. I mean, I just did my story. I was sitting somewhere. GFA. Why did they dissolve GFA? Why do we have a normalization committee now? How did he do those things? Even FIFA, after taking my petition, then they could have decided, they can decide not to do anything. It's their business. But at the end of the day, they look at their integrity. At the end of the day, what will people say about them? That is why when my work comes, it's free for all of you. I put it online. I put it at the International Conference Center for us all to see that this is the kind of society we live in. And the earlier we do something about it to make it better, the better for all of us. Thank you so much.
I copied to him officially. And after he read this book, he wrote a foreword, a very powerful and wonderful foreword. Unfortunately, we don't have a copy of the book in Ghana, but I'm working on the publication here in Ghana so we can have copies to be sold here in Ghana in a few months to come. But we also want to present this plaque to Mr. Anas Anas for his contribution to INPACT Africa Youth Leadership Summit. So we want to say thank you so much. You did not turn your back on us, but you decided to help.
Have two more speakers is sort of an anticlimax, but the main theme of what we are here to do, we haven't executed it yet, so we will implore everyone to wait, and then we can continue with the conversation.
There are a lot of questions streaming onto our phones. The guy is a very busy guy.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, fine.
Leadership International and Africa International Organization to each and every one of you here. CERTO is an acronym and it means Service to Humanity. Service to Humanity, that is CERTO. Afric means, Afric is also an attribute, it means an African with a changed mentality. Because we believe that the problem we have as African youth is not going to be solved by money. It's not going to be solved by the IMF. It's not going to be solved by the World Bank. It's not going to be solved by the States of America. It's not going to be solved by the international community. It's only going to be solved by us realigning our thinking to the way a progressive people are supposed to. In other words, we have to change our mindset in order to be able to be productive in our community. The mindset we have is based on the negative principles we have been taught. And I must inform you that most of the definitions you have about leadership, if you could please do me a favor and throw them out of the window. Because we are going to give you a definition, the real definition of leadership, which will challenge your intellectual paradigm. So Africa, we believe in changing the mindsets of our youth, because the older people, we cannot do much about them, if not anything about them. So we want to concentrate our energy and our resources on the younger generation, because we believe that if we can change the perception of the younger generation on the concepts of leadership, then when you are ready to serve, you will have a better understanding of leadership and serve your community to the best of your gifts. Now, let me go back to the topic, understanding the purpose of leadership. Leadership, before we started the program, we did a little discourse and we spoke about leadership. People gave their opinions. Most of the opinions that we're giving, truly, some of them happens to be the fruits of leadership. But you see, because we did not, or we don't have the proper understanding of what leadership is, we most of the time put the cart before the horse. We put the fruits and the benefits, or the products of leadership for leadership. Before I talk about what leadership is, I want to talk about what leadership is not. And please understand this. I know most of you are writing. If you want me to repeat something, I can still do it. Leadership is not rulership over people. Leadership is not rulership over people, in the sense that when we talk about rulership, then you were talking about something you own. You're talking about ownership. And no human being legitimately owns another human being. So leadership has nothing to do with the rulership over people. Yes, there is some level of rulership in leadership, but it's rulership over resources, not rulership over people. No man has the right to rule over another man. Straight up. I know somebody might be thinking, so what is governance? Governance is not rulership over people. Governance is an administrative system to help cultivate and coordinate resources for development of a people, or for the development of a people. That is governance. When you talk about rulership, then you are talking about worship. Rulership connotes worship. And that is not the terrain of any human being. Because what makes me special to rule over you? Think about it. What is it that I have that you don't have for me to rule over you? So, when we talk about leadership, rulership over people is out of the question. Leadership, again, is not charisma. Leadership has nothing to do with charisma. And these are the misconceptions, the myth we intend to break by the end of this summit. For you to go back home, start the thinking process, engaging yourselves, engaging your friends, engaging your community on the true concepts of leadership.
So leadership has nothing to do with charisma. As a matter of fact, you can be charismatic all you want and still will not be a leader. Leadership has nothing to do with power. Power means force, sheer force. Power is different from authority. Authority means legal force. Power is just force. Leadership has nothing to do with power. You don't need power to be a leader. This leads me to the question of influence and authority. When we started the discussion earlier, somebody made mention of influence. Yes, leadership has an element of influence, but influence does not make you a leader. That is putting the cart before the horse. Leadership is a gift for service. It's a gift for service. So you don't need power to operate as a leader because everybody has a gift. As a matter of fact, let me be a little blunt here. The moment the semen meets the egg in the womb, leadership is embedded in that conception. So every single individual has a gift to serve his generation and his community. Your gift is based on the needs of the community. It's based on the needs of the society you represent in. So, if you find your gift, you develop your gift, and you serve it to the community. In other words, when you serve your gift to the community, then you have influence in the community. So the leadership gift gives you influence. It is not the influence that makes you a leader, but it is a gift that gives you influence in your community. So the typical scenario is, if I happen to be a mechanic, that is my gift. So I am serving the community by being probably the only mechanic in Kufurida. So you know how busy I'll be. So when you have a problem with your car, what do? You call me. Hey, my car broke down on Kufurida Road. What should I do? Please listen to me carefully. You were calling me because what? Somebody made mention of trust. Because you trust that I can influence your decision in fixing the car, correct? Why? Because I have a gift to serve you. You don't call a carpenter when your car breaks down. You call a mechanic. Why? Because the person has a gift to serve the community. And you trust that because the person has a gift, his influence on you is going to be what? Positive and progressive. It's going to help you fix the problem you're facing. I hope I'm making myself clear. So you cannot be a leader, or you cannot have the influence without first having the gift for service. So influence does not make you a leader. Please get it. So when I come and I round a few people, I tell them, hey, Joe, let's go do this, and I influence the people, it does not make me a leader. Please. I have to have a gift to serve my community, and that is what makes me a leader. And in the moment we talk about service, let me backtrack a little bit. So now we've just spoken about the influence. The authority comes in. Because you have a gift, then you can speak authoritatively on the issue I am presenting to you. So the gift gives you the authority to talk about cars, because you have a gift to fix cars. You're a mechanic. So it is your gift that gives you the authority. The police officer has a gift for service. He's serving the community, and that is what gives him the authority to stand in the middle of the road and stop the cars coming from this side and ask these cars to come this way because the traffic light is not working. He has the authority because of the service, the gift he has, and it's the service he's rendering to the community.
If I want to stand in the middle of the road, you can choose not to listen to me, and there are no consequences. Nobody can hold you responsible. You can choose not to listen to me. I probably could be a mad person or a crazy guy. Just trying to cause commotion. So I stand in the middle of the road and say, hey, you come, and there be a crash. You know? So, authority does not make you a leader, but it is the gift which gives you the authority to service the people based on your gifts. Because authority will give you, it comes from the gifts, which gives you information. It gives you the know-how on what you are gifted to serve the people. So please, influence and authority does not make you a leader. It is your leadership gifts that gives you the influence and it gives you authority. The moment we talk about leadership, then we're talking about a gift. If it is a gift, guess what? Everybody has it. If it is a gift, you didn't work for it. So if it is a gift, then it has a purpose. There is a reason for you to be given that gift. And that reason is to solve problems in your community. So if it is a gift and there is a reason, which is the purpose, then the reason is to serve your community. And if service, the moment service comes in, then we are going to talk about a very important element which somebody mentioned during the discourse we had earlier on. Trust. Trust. Trust comes with service. And because you have a gift to serve, we trust that you are going to serve based on your gift to the development of your community. That is why we trust you. That you are serving the community to develop the community. So you are looking for problems in the community to serve. Let me just chip in this. Most of the time you hear people say, when you work hard, you're going to be successful in life. Wrong. Hard working is not a panacea for success in life. How many of you know people who've been working hard in their whole lives and they're still empty? Did not fulfill their purpose. Success is determined, or it is defined by purpose. Success is defined by purpose. So the reason you came here today is for us to have an intellectual discourse. So when you come and we feed you, which is a good thing, and we talk about your family, we talk about any other thing, but we don't talk about the intellectual discourse on leadership. Have you been successful in coming here? Because we fed you. We gave you money. If you didn't have shoes, we gave you shoes. If you didn't have clothes, we gave you clothes. But we didn't talk about the purpose for you coming here, which is to have a discourse, an intellectual discourse on leadership. So have you been successful in coming here? No. So success is defined by purpose. If you want to be successful, it's not about working hard. As a matter of fact, when you find your purpose, you don't work hard. You just live your life. The bird does not work hard to fly. Why? Because flight is built in the bird. So the bird is living its life by flying. It is not working. If what are some of the Ghanaian musicians? What are the names? Kojenchi goes to the studio. Okay, Shatawale, Kojenchi, whoever, name it, goes to the studio and spends hours in the studio to make music. You can ask them, they will tell you they are not working, they're having fun. That is their lifestyle. So leadership is supposed to be a lifestyle. After you understand that it's a gift for service, then you have to cultivate the principles of service. And one of the major principles of service is the principle of integrity. So, if you understand that you have a gift to serve your community, to solve a problem, then you cultivate that principle of integrity. That is why in the books of a leader, there is nothing like entrapment.
Nobody can interrupt you. Because your yes is your yes. Your no is your no. You don't say no here and say yes there. Integrity is a word from, it comes from the word integration. It means you put something together and it becomes one. So it means you are one. You are whole. We don't know you as two-faced. I think there's a musician like that, right? Two-faced. No. Integrity means one face. So if I come to you and I say, hey, can you take this money and influence the judgment of this case? You tell them, I have integrity, so I am not taking a dime from you. As a matter of fact, I will report you to the appropriate authorities. That is integrity. So in that case, if you are a leader, you understand your responsibilities as a leader, and the major responsibility, that is the first and foremost responsibility of every leader, is to coordinate and cultivate and coordinate resources for the development of your people. So, in other words, if what I'm doing, claiming to be a leader, is not of service to the people, and it is not coordinating or cultivating resources, and it is not for the development of the people, then let's look at the word leadership again. And we believe that if the African youth would understand that leadership has nothing to do with position, power, all the things even the dictionary is miseducating us. And that is the problem of the African. That is why leaders cannot do anything better for us. You know why? Because you don't just get up to become a leader. You first have to understand the concept of leadership, and you have to cultivate the principles of leadership. You cultivate them every day. We spoke about time and timeliness. It is part of the principles of leadership. You practice them. You don't just say them by word of mouth. You practice them. So in school, if you tell your classmates, if you're a class prefect, and you tell your classmates, no talking, you don't talk and write other people's names and submit them for whipping. If no talking in class, you first decide not to talk. So it means you are practicing the principles of leadership. So please, this is our heart cry. Our continent, not just our nation, is in a critical condition. We are in a crisis mode. Sorry, I'm getting emotional, but this is our heart cry. We are in a crisis mode. If we continue in this trend, we are not going to get to where we are supposed to get to as a nation and as a continent. We need to change our concept of leadership. Leadership is not about me being served. The leadership is about me serving my community and making sure that what I'm doing is bringing progress and development to my community. And I don't need power, I don't need authority, I don't need an office to serve my community. I will just get up and see a need and say, with this need I have a gift and I can fix that need. And I will go, as a matter of fact, let me chip in this. It's not part of my discussion, but let me chip in this. How many of you know that when you look for money, you can't find money? You can search for money all you want, you can't find money. Let me show you how to find money. Go out there and solve problems in your community, and you can find money. Because community will pay you for the problems you solve. In order to end, leadership, being a gift for service, is not meant for you. Leadership is meant for the development of the community. Somebody made mention of selflessness and sacrifice. Leadership is meant for the development of the community. My last scenario, when you come to my restaurant, let's say I own a restaurant, you come to my restaurant, you order your food, and I bring the food and I happen to be the server. I bring the food and I sit in front of you, and I begin to eat the food you have ordered. Am I being of service to you? Let us please begin this discourse and understand that leadership is not any of the things we've read in the books. Challenge the status quo. We need to think. We talk about critical thinking. It is not rocket science. Critical thinking simply means asking all the questions. Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? That is critical thinking. And it is my prayer that we would understand and grasp this concept as young people and will begin to cultivate the principles of leadership and serve our community. Thank you.
My technician and all the great people I see around, thank you for coming. I'm going to talk briefly, I think we've heard a lot. So I'm going to talk about reconstructing a new Africa. Reconstructing a new Africa. When we talk about reconstruction, it indicates that there's probably a challenge with an old one. If they are going to reconstruct something, a wall, going to reconstruct a building, then you will say that it's either there's a challenge with the old one, or maybe the old one has outlived its usefulness or purpose, or you can say that you want to present a new face. You want to present a new face of something. And then when we talk about reconstruction, we are also saying that this is synonymous to rebuilding. It means we want to rebuild something. We want to rebuild. And I'm sure you know as well as I do that rebuilding has to do with one of the critical issues we need to look at when we are rebuilding is to look at the foundation. I don't know how many of you will rebuild on sand. The sea sand. Just go and put up your building on the sand. The foundation is critical. That is why some of these things are happening. The seminars and all the plans that we have are happening. Because if we don't get the foundations right, all the buildings will not stand and it might even collapse one day. We also have to understand that rebuilding is a process. It's not an event. It's not a one day thing. So we finish the seminar where everything is solved. It is a process. If you have built something before or if you have attempted to rebuild something, you understand that it is a process. So one step at a time, one step at a time. But the length of time to rebuild depends on three things. Number one, it depends on the speed with which you build. Number two, it depends on the effort you put into what you are doing. And number three, it depends on the passion with which you build. So these are the three things that we have to watch when we are rebuilding. Somebody would ask, why do we have to reconstruct? Don't we have an Africa? Why do we have to reconstruct a new Africa? What is the purpose for reconstructing a new Africa? I say that the purpose is that I think there's a problem. I think our executive director alluded to that fact that we have a leadership crisis. As a matter of fact, if you cast your eyes all over Africa, especially, you come to the realization that we have a crisis because people don't really understand what leadership is. We talked about, I don't want to go there too much. So, look at the old Africa. Because we are talking about a need, so we have to look at the old Africa. What is the old Africa that we are talking about? Most of the time all you hear is negative things about Africa. You hear about diseases, you hear about wars, you hear about hunger, you hear about drought, recipients of aid, illiteracy, death, crime, corruption, brutalities, all of them, you name them. These are the things, Ebola and so on, all these, you hear about Africa. You don't see any positive thing about Africa. And most of the time, these are the things that we see around us. And so if these are the things we are seeing, it means that these things represent the old. And I'm not sure we are all proud of hearing about corruption, death, disease, and so on and so forth. So we would want a new Africa. So that is why we have to reconstruct a new Africa. Unfortunately, sometimes our attitudes also tend to reinforce these issues. The way we do our things. We tend to give credence. Sometimes when we talk about these things, we always look at, I think our executive director was talking about these. We always look at the leaders, politicians, and those up there. we forget that in our little things, the little things we do. You mentioned class rep, bullying other people. You are a captain of a team. How do you deal with the members of the team? In your own small ways, the things we do tend to reinforce some of these things. And most of the time, our leaders fail to empower the citizenry. Sometimes they feel that you criticize them, so we will empower you. When you get to know more, you might challenge them. You don't want to accept genuine criticism. You do something, somebody criticizes and you are angry. We don't want to take responsibility for our own mistakes. When you make a mistake, you have to admit that I genuinely have made a mistake. I didn't know about this, or probably I misjudged. So can you forgive me and let's move on? But most of the time, you want to insist. We attend functions late. That's one of the things that I don't know what to say, but that's one of the things that I'm trying to have patience for. Because I think that if we have a meeting and we say we are starting at 10 and you come at 11, what are you telling those of us who came at 10? What are you telling those of us who came at 10? African time. I think the best can be mentioned like that. There is nothing like African time. So please, these are the things that we do. We tend to reinforce some of the things that I'm talking about. And I don't know whether you heard the news. This it has to do with the normalization committee member. One of them, I think they had to do a press conference. And the person came late. And one of the journalists, questioned him and he insulted the journalist. Can you imagine this? When you call yourself a leader, I don't know the kind of leader you are. All he could have said was, I'm sorry for coming late. Maybe genuinely, he might have a cause for coming late. But you have to admit that you are late, and let's ask for forgiveness and move on. So these are the things that we do. We tend to reinforce some of these issues I'm talking about. Quite a number of them. Sometimes we don't even recognize our own people. I was sad when I heard one gentleman, I think he manufactures what's it called? Fertilizer, organic fertilizer. And he said he has knocked on all the doors of the powers that be. He's not talking about this particular government, but from wherever. He started knocking at all the doors, wherever he's supposed to go. He has been there, yet nobody is paying attention. But when other people, we are interested in importing, because sometimes we don't look at the national interest, we look at what will bring us something. And it's so sad, when somebody gets a position, all we think about, hey, what is he going to get? That saddens me a lot. People don't ask, what is the responsibility of this position, or what is the responsibility of this role? All we are looking for is that, hey, now why are you here? Now the money will come, wow. But we don't look at responsibility. These are all the things that we do that tend to give us a negative picture in which we are relating to the old Africa. So these are some of the things we want to change. For lack of time, we want to move on. So what kind of new Africa are we aspiring to build? Number one, where leadership means service. I think our executive director has spoken a lot about service. Where leadership means service. When the leader says, let's be here at 10, you make sure you are there. The leader should be there first before the people come. But what do we see around? In most of our functions, the leaders will wait. Everybody will come and sit down and then they will come. That is not leadership. If you are a leader, you live by example. Seek to support, I think I've mentioned that one. We are looking for the kind of Africa or the new Africa where leaders are ready to take responsibility for their actions. In certain places, when something goes wrong, the leader acknowledges, steps down, or resigns. Over here, people will challenge and say, they will deny and start blaming other people for the mistakes. So This is the kind of Africa I'm looking at, where leaders are ready to take responsibility for their actions and inactions, what I call accountable leadership. We are also looking at a new Africa where leadership integrity is observed. I think our executive president talked about that, not leadership of convenience. When you're on this side, you say one thing, when you come here, this is what the problem I have. I don't want to be political. I look at the way that our politicians treat us. When NDC is in power, MPP will say something and they will say another thing. When they are out of opposition, the very same thing they were condemning, the very same things they were defending, now they are condemning. And it's the same for the two. When they go to the other side, the story changes. That is not integrity. If you believe something is not right, whether it is you are in power or you are out of power or you are what I call co-partners or somebody who calls subordinates or you are a follower or whatever you call yourself. If it is green, it should be green all the time. So that's the kind of Africa we are looking at, where there is highly literate and productive citizens, where liberties are embedded in valued principles, where there is a strong conviction to do what is right because it doesn't look odd. Sometimes you feel odd. How many of you have observed when there is traffic, you see what I call the wise men in quotes. You see them by the shoulders of the road. They go past you and you are there, you look like you are a fool, excuse my language. And you are in the queue and they go, and then you get the chance and they go ahead of you. But we want to build an Africa where there's a strong conviction that we will do the right thing, no matter the cost. So what is your responsibility in this rebuilding? Number one, understand that it begins with you. Sometimes you look at other people, the thing is for other people. It begins with you. If you are not able to lead yourself, there's no way you are going to be able to lead other people. So that is what you must understand. You must work on yourself before you can start working on other people. What I call personal leadership. So you must have personal leadership. Number two, you must change the way you think. Or do a mental overhaul. And some of them come in the form of the conferences like this, or summits like this, reading very good literature and books that will help you. Number three, desire to be a change agent. Don't wait for other people. When you see something going wrong, don't wait and say the other person might do it, or somebody else might do it. You go ahead and do it. Number four, start from little places. Don't say, oh, I want to be a minister. I want to be so before. Start from the little places. Executive director talked about class prefect. Start from there. Captain of a football team. Start from there. Among your peers. Start from there. Show leadership. So don't wait till you get a big post. We are interested in posts. Alright. So what are the possible challenges? I'm almost done. What are the possible challenges in this rebuilding process? It is not going to be easy. Anyone who tells you rebuilding will be easy is lying, because there are a lot of things that have gone on over the years. Number one challenge, fear of failure and perceived incapability. You will feel that you are not capable of me. What can I do? Look at this mess around me in my little corner. What can I do? Can I effect a change? That's why we said start from wherever you are. So fear of failure and perceived incapability. Number two challenge, intimidation and resistance by others who may not understand the process. Sometimes when you are doing something, somebody is by the side watching you. The person doesn't understand what you are doing and they are questioning. Are you sure you are going to be able to succeed? Are you sure nobody has treaded this path before? You think you are the only person who can do it? Don't be intimidated by such. So don't be intimidated, but that is one of the challenges, intimidation and resistance. The last one I have here is discouragement arising out of ridicule by observers. Some people are going to ridicule you. You think you can do it. There is no way you are going to be able to do it. If nobody has done it, you cannot do it. And they start ridiculing you. But I want you to understand that you have to stand your ground and know what you are in for. So I have some final comments here. I'm going to read that, so please pay attention. If you haven't taken anything home, pay attention to the final comment. My final comment is that we must understand that it is not going to be easy taking cognizance of the enormity of the work at hand. But we must do our bit and lay a solid foundation that will propel us into the future. After all, a journey of 1,000 miles, they say, begins with a step. Let's all put our hands on deck and work towards the new Africa we all yearn for. Remember that your input is critical to the realization of this dream, and you cannot afford to backtrack. The journey has already begun, so get on board. Long live Africa Settle, long live Ghana, long live Africa. Thank you very much.
For the work that your SRC was in this endeavor. Thank you very much. Ebenezer Darko, the Chief Justice of the SRC. Chief Justice. That's wonderful. I hope you have a lot of leverage, and I hope to see your influence and your leadership on this campus. Thank you, sir. And then we have Rafael Kobla alone. He is the president of the SRC. Alone, are you here? Thank you, sir. Your office has been more than willing and able to help us. Hello, can we have Mr. Kofi Telia here to help us give a few... Thank you, sir. You can sit down. Thank you very much. Elapin Efia Monica. If I abandon your name because I've never seen it before. Sogar Moses. Thank you, Mr. Koviteria. You can sit down.
no many momentum on your grabber, no may see much. Yes, see much. Mewo, feet it I found with you. Yes, me had to me and do, baby. Mewo, Gary, I wanna come Mogopado. Yamba Pessamin coming yanka, it's not coming in. I am Fanka. Yamba Gentum, Yamba Petroca Grangum non show pra.